Hi everyone, Comic Reviewer here, and this time reviewing on Huntress and Power Girl, World's Finest. Now, as you know, in the New 52 continuity, originally Karen Starr and Helena Wayne were pretty much taken from Earth 2 and into the main DC universe, but eventually went back home. And the story is meant to cover what happened during their stay and how they try and get back. So the issue, you have Power Girl in her basically New 52 costume, and Helena basically in her costume. And it starts off with, after the events of the Huntress series, Helena Wayne says, "Elise, poor Miss Berini, she served me well." And keep in mind that the passport she's used was from someone who they thought died. But even though in the series Grayson, she does kind of work with Dick Grayson, and eventually does become Huntress. And Power Girl's like, "You did the Mafia Princess like you were born for the role, Helena. Very realistic. She was real Karen, you know," and wonders what else to use. So they mainly talk about, like, other lives, everything else, and even Karen basically buying a lab after the Fukushima disaster, and gets a call and panics, and says, "Come on, hurry! Your black card! No worries, plenty more." And we're introduced where the lab is caught on fire, and says, "The quantum tunneler, Kabu-san. Is it safe? I am sure it will be safe. But you know that's the reason I bought your lab. You have the right equipment to finish it." And so she jumps in, and with no one trying to go in and stop her, with only Helena to go in, and even remember, mainly goes in, investigate what's been happened, and you see, basically, Huntress asking what's all this equipment about, and points out it's their only ride home. And pretty much like Helena asks Karen about the breakup with Mr. Terrific, known as Michael Holt, and it's kind of revealed in issue 2 that he's on Earth 2 at the time. And what's interesting is that Karen investigates one of the radiation ones are stolen, and wonders who could have stolen it and who had the abilities, and even asks her about changing her outfit now that it's been destroyed. And we're introduced to a flashback when Helena and Karen were still Robin and Supergirl, and going to stop whoever was opening the boom tube. They mainly get sucked in and end up falling into the water below, where Helena rescues Kara and sees a sporting shop. So pretty much the Kara of Earth 2 wakes up, and Helena points out that they lost one world, but have a look at this one. And Kara says, "That's not Cal. He's so young." And so you see, pretty much 59 months later, where they're much older, and pretty much wondering what they're gonna do. We see Karen pretty much becoming a tech mogul, and slowly building her empire, and getting the right necessary tech. Well, Huntress becomes like what her father expected, and basically takes on gangs and criminals. So pretty much Karen looks for her stuff, and finds her new superhero costume, saying, "Hey, I've been busy, but now, what do you think of us as Power Girl and the Huntress?" And so she mainly gets strapped on, and they go in to investigate. But Karen ends up getting knocked out and says, "Found the saboteur, or was that obvious?" So pretty much they go on to attack whoever the guy is, and turns out the guy is known as Haku. And basically their only response is, "Ugly was an understatement. Wait until I'm done with him, then you'll see ugly." And this is the story. So I think the story isn't bad. Again, the point of the New 52 was coming up with new stories, and eventually you do see Helena and Karen going back to Earth 2, and eventually the true Huntress comes back, but in a stark darker skin tone, and you sort of do have a Power Girl somewhere in the main DC universe. So I think the issue deserves a thumbs up. Still good, and still alright. So, Comic Reviewer here, signing out.